I will request Shri Rajnath Ram, Advisor Power and Energy, NITI Aayog Government of India, to give his special address and share his vision on what NITI Aayog is thinking in terms of building that sustainable energy innovation ecosystem. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Distinguished speakers on the dais and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you. Let me start with the kind of scenario, energy transition that is taking shape within the country and across the world, where we stand as of now and where we would like to go under the net zero scenario in 2047 and 2070. So under net zero scenario for 2070, the share of RE is likely to increase up to minimum. I'm just speaking on for the solar and wind, nothing less than 1600 gigawatt by 2047. And this scenario, I'm telling, it doesn't discount the other kind of technology, the capacity additions from the coal, hydro, nuclear, and other capacity will also grow at their own pace, depending on the economics and also the kind of policies in place. We have huge aspiration of becoming the developed nation by 2047. So your energy requirement is also likely to grow something like 2.5 or 3 times as of now. So you can just imagine the kind of investment required and the infrastructure build-up, and the billion of investment would be there for the storage solution, integration aspect, land management, load management, and so on. The energy sector operates the most critical infrastructure in the world. But there are huge challenges before us to address the trilemma of energy, security, energy equity through the access and affordable energy, and also maintaining the reliability and the further to this deployment of sustainable energy technologies. We all know that energy remains a critical enabler for the economic prosperity everywhere around the world, because energy infrastructures serve as the backbone for the country and the business to operate, and it is frequently targeted for the cyber attacks. So the ongoing digitalization and the renewables driven infrastructure transformation of the energy sector make energy companies particularly more vulnerable. Groundbreaking technology produce new efficiency and reduce emissions as the energy transition and the ongoing digitalization and the revolutionizes the sector. The rapid advancement in the artificial intelligence to mix and the pace of change for an industry where infrastructure investment typically span decades, both aspects need to build a strong cybersecurity ecosystem. The energy transition is a priority because of its role in meeting the global commitment to combat climate change. Digitally native technologies and the business models like wind and the solar power, smart metering, distributed generation, managing peak, etc., cannot work without digitalization of the technologies which have to be operated. Digital management, at the one hand, maximizes the efficiency of the technology. On the other hand, maintaining data, which is very, very critical, on the server, the design configuration and its operational protocol are very, very critical. Most of the companies are shifting their businesses models toward digitalization in the existing operational technology to increase the efficiency and reduce emission and also reduce the overhead cost. This is also one of the major factor. And the cyber attackers increasingly target the operational equipment, exploiting the new vulnerabilities created by digitalization. Therefore, the cyber security cells needs to be established within the country, and that has to be also keep up with the innovation in the assets and the business model of their parent organization. And with the potential misuse of new technology by attackers, I think we have to be very, very cautious. Organizations whose business practices remain unchanged are bound to face rising threats as attackers adopt new technology linked with AI generated and phishing attacks. Therefore, the challenges before also remains the adoption of new technologies, how far the regulator is informed about that, how quickly make the necessary changes in the provisions of the regulations. This is also an important aspect. The innovations bringing changing and thus creates uncertainty about the regulatory aspects. As the CA speakers has mentioned, that bringing the updation of the technologies and also make aware people, the HR system has to be also keep pace with the changing technology. Because regulatory changes is typically slower than the innovation, energy sector leaders often must choose how to invest in the cyber security without knowing the final regulation, what kind of regulation will be in place. So this is also an important aspect need to be addressed. With the increasing investment in the energy sector, which leads to development of the supply chain, is also, and this supply chain is also interdependent. So any disruption in the value chain can cause chaos up and down from the producer to the consumer. The involvement of third-party suppliers as a strategy to move laterally into a larger organization may also lead to a stronger cyber attack issues. Therefore, the resilient energy infrastructure calls for a maturing cybersecurity across the whole of the energy ecosystem. Equipment manufacturers, cybersecurity organizations, and the technology vendors all have roles to play in this entire ecosystem. Above all, a more stringent cybersecurity rules and the regulations are also very critical. We have to invest heavily on building the strong cybersecurity cell for all the sectors on the energy value chain, not limited to the power and transmission, but cross-country pipelines, grid, product pipelines, renewable installations, and so many. So we must also have the facility of test beds. So we often lack. There are many softwares available in the market, but where to test that, whether the existing infrastructure or the existing cell have that facilities to test those equipments. Most of the equipments are also imported, particularly in the RE space, and it is being also observed that many vendors keep data outside the country, as there are multinational companies involved in the RE sector. So this also needs to be given due consideration by the government. So what kind of data should be maintained within the boundaries or outside the boundaries? And at the same time, we need to also focus promoting our domestic value chain, promotion of domestic value chain and manufacturing aspect, so that the value chain and the entire ecosystem is also maintained within the countries. I think this conclave delve into all these aspects. I wish a fruitful deliberation ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sri Rajnath Ram, advisor NITI Aayog in terms of power sector, and you touched base upon a very important aspects of that. The need of the hour is that government should now think of making those stringent rules in terms of securing the cyberspace, and again for that all the stakeholders have to come together, brainstorm together. Then only those kind of policies has to be in place, and also where the data will be kept. and that is also important. So I think in that front also we need a lot of brainstorming, and not only where the data will be kept, but also how effectively we're analyzing those data to have proper outcome. That is also, I think, quite important. Thank you so much. Can you have a huge round of applause for him, please, for setting the tone of the discussion of the day?